Now, welcome to another Let's Talk Some Bad Batch, where this time we'll be discussing the 6th and 7th episode of Season 3, Infiltration and Extraction. And we'll be doing that by reading and responding to some of the comments left on my review over on the other channel, which was posted a short time ago, a little later than usual, so we don't have as many comments to pick from as usual, unfortunately, but we have to start with your ever so brief review of this episode.
Okay, these episodes may have been my favorites so far.
Okay.
These are top tier episodes.
Okay.
We started by, we picked up some of the threads left from last season because I wanted to know what happened with Chuchi and her trying to lead the Senate into helping the clones.
Those were some great episodes last season, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know if we were going to have time to get to that, if we're going to tell a more enclosed story.
It's kind of funny because I think it was last week we talked about how if Chuchi returns, I have a bad feeling because she's, going to be hunted by the Empire. And we didn't get to watch this one together. You had to leave for work.
Yep.
And so I'm sitting there watching and Chuchi pops up. I'm like, oh God, if she dies, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, you would be.
But she wasn't even the target, so.
No, but she's probably a target.
Oh, certainly, yeah. She's gotten herself on the naughty list of Palpatines.
Not only that, Hemlock obviously doesn't want his test subjects taken away, and he's personally sending assassins.
Yeah.
So even if they never come back to this part of the storyline, I have a feeling it's going to be grim. I think they can't run forever. We know that there isn't going to be an immediate uprising.
No, we know it's years away before really anything gets organized.
So like I said, even if they never readdress it or come back to it this season, I'm really happy to see that the Empire is aware of what they are up to and actively dealing with it.
Yeah.
Now that Rex lost a huge portion of his men,
he got wiped out.
I don't know what the fate will be for the senators.
Yeah, it's probably not good.
No, it's probably not good. But that's great inferences that we can make based on the information they gave us. I'm glad that they gave us that. I'm also super glad that they're ending out this episode you know what? We need to find out why they want Omega. I'm like, thank goodness, because I want to know. And I was worried we were not going to find out exactly what was up with that. I liked when they mentioned M counts, and immediately Rex is like, well, I've heard that word before.
Maybe the Jedi spoke of it.
Well, I wonder if
Probably
he's
Anakin
going to be somehow
his...
the introduction to Ventress. I feel like Ventress is next week.
Well, it's funny that they're on Teth, where Rex had an encounter with Ventress, and some of his other men did as well. Anyway.
Well, the emotions were high. We got to see Crosshair interact with some clones who he's actually... other clones he's worked against, and his loyalty is tested. We get to hear more about the Clone X's, as we were calling them, I believe.
Yeah, they're still Clone X's.
Mm-hmm. So I really liked it. I liked that we saw Wolf, and I'm like, well, we kind of know where Wolf ends up, which side of the coin here.
Yeah.
Because in Rebels, Wolf, Gregor, and Rex are all living together.
Yeah, they're fishing for
on an
giant
old
worms.
ATTE.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And what I find interesting about that is actually Wolf kind of betrays the Ghost crew in that episode, if you remember. I think it's a two-parter, actually. Because he's all worried about, the Jedi are going to come here and ruin what we got going on, my little friendship here. So he kind of turns them in, and then Rex has to yell at him. That was stupid, Wolf.
Well, Rex seems to always have to yell at Wolf. What are you doing there, Wolf?
Yeah.
These aren't insurgents. These are clones. Well, yes, they are. They are clones.
Yes, Wolf. Yes, you get it.
He's seeing. Yes. He's opening his eyes.
It takes a little... Well, he's only kind of got one good eye, so...
But it's interesting because... Wolf now with some information has the power to maybe start something from inside.
Within.
Depending on how loyal the rest of the clones with him are.
Yeah, well, they all kind of that was a really interesting part. We're getting to the end of the episodes now, but what do you think the other clones are thinking there? Are they on board? Are they going to go turn Wolf in?
Well, the clones, what I loved about them is they've always, and this was actually partially intentional by the Kaminoans, is that they felt a strong loyalty to each other.
Yeah.
Strong loyalty to each other. More so than I think loyalty to the Empire, even the Republic, they were loyal to each other. So will that be able to override any of the extra brainwashing,
Yeah. Will Hilo, who was the commando there, would he turn them in? Are those former Wolfpack members too for Wolf? We don't know. We know we had some stormtroopers with him too, so it's hard to...
I'm still sad though that Cody didn't show up. I thought Cody maybe would show up, that he was there with Rex. We don't know what happened to him.
Well, we might.
We might have some speculation on that in a little bit. So we should probably get to some comments. Okay, there was just a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go on. Your ever brief review can be a little longer today.
Really? I really was sad when Echo left right away because I was like, we're sending away Echo again. I like Echo. Because he came to drop him off. He's like, all right, bye, guys. I
got dinner with Gregor.
So. Yeah, I gotta go feed Gregor. Nobody fed him today. He's like the house cat he left behind.
Well, maybe he climbed down the tower like the Loth cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, liked that Wolf maybe was like, well, these are clones. Everyone put their weapons on stun, not just because they're worried about killing Omega, but because they were clones. He doesn't want to kill clones. Though I think Clone X, for one, he doesn't care.
No, he's totally, his brain is gone. He's not even thinking like brothers anymore. He's just does.
By the way, I think Clone X should be dead.
From the waterfall?
Not just that. Remember, before he went over the falls, he got hit with the stun.
Yeah.
Which means that he should have
drowned.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the helmet. It kept the water out. He's fine.
I don't know. Still, he did fall all that way. He was unconscious underwater. I just don't think he'll survive that.
Well, he popped out of the water, and he'll be back.
He'll be back. He's got to go and raid Pabu.
Somehow, Clone X will return.
Which one, though? We saw 2 Clone X's.
At least we've seen 3 now, actually.
Yes, this is our 3rd Clone X.
Yes, and I would imagine there's a million more on the way. Okay, maybe not a million. All right, now let's get to some comments.
Right, first comment from Ben Costello. I loved the change we see in Crosshair's character in the interaction between Rex and Wolf was great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really loved that Rex could get through to Wolf.
Yeah, well, I mean, if anybody's going to get, I feel like Rex is like that one clone that every other clone respects.
Every other clone respects him.
I don't know why. Is that because, all his fans respect Rex and, within the clone army, you're like, who's Rex? I've never, 501st?
He's the only one who could put up being under Anakin, and they respect him for it.
Yeah, I mean, you do earn your stripes having to serve under Anakin.
Oh, there's that guy who's works under Anakin. They're like, whoa.
Whoa, that's respect.
Whoa.
I hear he has to do some crazy stuff to keep up with his general.
Yeah, and Crosshair. I mean, he's fighting the terrible damage to his hand, which I think could have been caused by that nerve toxin. And now he has to, face the clones, and he keeps having to face these people who call him out on what he did.
Well, it's hard. Yeah, I mean, he has to face Hauser in this episode.
Yeah, he faces Hauser, then he faces Clone X.
Yeah, literally
one
faces
of them. Both of them. Eventually both of them. He gets to have one-on-one time with both of them. And then the fact that he is so, protective, fiercely protective of Omega.
Yes, you see that quite a bit in these 2 episodes.
You're worse than Hunter.
Yeah, I am.
You didn't do a very
No, I don't do a very good I don't do a very good clone in general. And that's not even what he said. I don't remember the exact quote now. I feel stupid.
You are.
Yeah, you are.
No, but the characterization, again, amazing. Crosshair, no wonder he is the favorite clone of D. Bradley Baker, is because there is so much depth he gets to express on him this season. It's a fantastic show.
Yeah.
Next comment from Shadow Sentry. The way they gave the clone assassins so much focus makes me feel like they're hyping up a big unmasking reveal down the line. They even made a point of showing that he survived that drop from the waterfall. I was bracing myself the whole time for them to solve that he's a zombified tech or something goofy like that.
Don't even...
No, not a zombified tech, no.
No, that's Thrawn's, guys.
Oh my gosh, but that makes me worry about Cody.
Yeah, it's Cody.
I don't want it to be Cody.
I'm 90% sure it's Cody.
No, not my boy Cody.
It's Cody.
But Cody.
Because he's got history with Cody. Crosshair does already.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last time we see Cody, he kind of disobeys an officer's orders. He wouldn't shoot.
But I thought he was escaping. I thought he was leaving after that.
I think he did, AWOL. But I'm going to assume he got captured, or he didn't actually go AWOL. He got escorted to Tantis for experimentation time. It's got to be Cody, right? Because, I mean, I think somebody in our Discord pointed this out. Why else would you have him live if it's not... If you could have a million Clone X's, why is this one special? Yeah.
It'd almost be better to show, just the overwhelming number of them. Instead, they're focusing on this one.
Yeah.
That makes me sad. But they took his helmet off. Did he take his helmet off?
No, never takes his helmet off.
No, the other one took his helmet off.
Yeah, they took the first one.
Not that he's going to look any different from any other clone. Really,
I know, it's it still looks like a clone. But no, I'm pretty sure it's Cody.
No.
I know. Sad, but I think that's going to be his fate. Well, we gotta brace ourselves for a lot of sad things, I think, in this season.
There's supposed to be a lot of bittersweet.
Or just a lot of bitter.
Oh my gosh, the bitter is coming.
Yeah.
I feel like Chuchi's fate's been sealed already.
That was my fault. I'm sorry. If Chuchi dies, it's on me.
Chuchi's gone. The other senator with the
Singh,
cool Singh is gone.
Yeah, he was from the first season. That was cool to bring him back.
Yeah, I barely remembered him. As soon as I looked at him, I'm like, he looks so familiar.
Yeah.
I know he did stuff. Yeah.
he did stuff in the previous season.
It's over now.
Former episode. Yeah, it's all good.
Next comment from Do It All Day. Hey Thor, I want to get your thoughts on the theory of the Clone X Troopers being somehow spliced with Crosshair's DNA. The Clone X Troopers have a very similar skill set to Crosshair. The captured Clone X trooper seemed to be triggered by seeing Crosshair for some reason. Perhaps Crosshair was the prototype for the Clone X program. I just thought it was an intriguing theory, given the fact that Crosshair is not only fighting his personal demons, but also fighting against clones spliced with his DNA. Is this a solid theory or a bit of a stretch? I think it's a solid theory.
I think it's solid.
The fact that Clone hair,
yeah.
the fact that Crosshair
That's what they're called. They're
admitted
not Clone X's,
like
they're Clone
he
Hairs.
was supposed to be a part of this program. The other ones kind of look at him bitterly and they're like, brother, which they would never normally call one of the Bad Batch a brother. Like, I don't think, regardless of the circumstances, would they ever refer to one as a brother.
Yeah.
And the fact that, they do have the similar skill set. All of them have that similar skill set.
Yeah, they all seem
and
to be really good shooters.
And I know that they did a lot of experiments on him when they brought him in, trying to figure out what made him special.
Yeah.
And surprise, surprise, all the Clone X's seem to be special in the way he's special.
Yeah, I think it's a solid theory. If it's not Cody, it's something like this. Mm-hmm. Where he's...
even if it is Cody, they could have
spliced him?
Spliced him, yeah.
Somehow. No, I like it. I think it's a strong possibility.
Just like I thought that Omega had all of the traits that the Bad Batch have. In a way, except for Wrecker, because she's not super strong or...
No, or stupid. You didn't want to say it, did you?
Well, if you get a little bit of tech, it kind of overrides a little bit of Wrecker.
It balances. That's terrible. But...
Well, no, she does know technology really, really well.
I know.
I mean, Tech was teaching her, but come on, how fast can she literally pick these things up? Yeah. She knows how to do a little bit of tracking, and she's got a lot of intuition like Hunter does.
She does.
Yeah, her aim is really good. She got like a brief lesson in how to shoot from Crosshair, and she's like an expert.
Yeah. Did you notice she mimics Crosshair? I mean, they kind of made it obvious. She does mimic with the toothpick thing. She does. She mimicked all of them at some point. Yeah, I know. Is that just like a little girl trying to like be like her brothers or her kind of father figures, or is that something else?
But she's older than them.
You know what I mean?
She calls them little brothers.
I know. I like that. That was great. Yes, but do you think that is something interesting or profound, or is it just like, that's a cute thing that she's doing?
Think of it this way, also. Her DNA can transfer or take on M counts.
I see where you're going with this already.
Is her DNA somehow special enough that she could have gotten blood infusions from all of them at one point when she was being made, or when she helped spawn them somehow?
She was made first, yeah.
Yeah. Could that have something to do with it?
So you're saying...
Is she able to like take on their traits because that's somehow innately in her genetics?
That's an interesting theory.
They made her like the Taskmaster. She can just watch all of them and learn all their abilities. Good thing she hasn't come in contact with the Jedi yet. I mean, she just learned. So that's how we do it.
So she's confirmed to be Rey's daughter. Is that what you just said?
No, she's not Rey's daughter.
She just had to like look at Kylo and learn all his things, and looked at Luke and became a Skywalker. You figured it all out. You've done it.
No, she's Rey's great grandmother. When she eventually gets involved with the clone of Palpatine and they get married, that was actually Omega. It was her mother.
Well, we don't know much about her mother, so I think it was Marin is her name, or not Marin. It's something like that. Mirror or something. I can't remember. It's like Mirror or something weird.
It
like
is
that.
something weird.
Yeah.
I'm just making a joke, of course. I mean, I don't think so. Not everyone in Star Wars has to be related.
Well, all right. Let's move on. I think we still got a few comments left here.
Next comment from, I'm probably gonna mispronounce this, Mirangatango. I do wonder how dark they're willing to go with the ending. The obvious end is to be really grim and have a failed clone rebellion with it leading to the deaths of any rogue senators and a general purge of the clones in the Empire, as well as the deaths of most/all of the remaining Bad Batch. But I'm not sure they'll go that far for an animated show. If they don't, though, it'll surely be hard to tie it all off neatly. It doesn't have to tie it off neatly. It will lead into whatever project is next. So leaving a couple members of... I mean, we've already predicted that Crosshair might be the one to make it out of this.
I think so. Crosshair and Omega.
Crosshair and Omega, that the rest of them are probably going to go down in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
Which would still be incredibly sad, even though that is our current prediction. And if, honestly, as horrible and grim as that sounds, they do have to probably kill more Bad Batch members.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget how Season 7 of Clone Wars ended, too. Like, there's a lot of death there, too.
Absolutely, but...
Not of so much main characters, but certainly a lot of death.
Which is constantly ignoring and leaving everyone alive wouldn't work out because of the way that this story is told and because of how we know the future holds. They're going into the dark times. They're heading into... Remember, they're still at the very early stages of the rebellion here. They're heading to the darkest ages of the rebellion.
Yeah. Things are only going to get worse.
So I am curious how many clones are going to come out of the other side. if they maybe do get to have some sort of a citizenship, because of the fact that, and I know this is really weird, Kenobi had to have that one clone begging on the street corner in his old armor.
Yeah.
Which means they obviously all didn't get round up and killed or something weird because he's out in the open. He's not even in hiding.
I don't think they're going to do that, but I think many of them are going to die or kind of be carted off somewhere. Mm-hmm. And some will kind of slip through the cracks.
Right. It is sad because, I'm glad they're taking animated shows seriously, honestly.
Yeah, they very much are.
Because that is how you're going to do this justice. People watching this are people who've been watching this since the Clone Wars. These people have grown up. The Clone Wars is older at this point.
15 years ago.
So I think it's appropriate that their animation is growing up as well.
Yeah, I think they know a good portion of their audience is older. And that the kids that are watching it are probably watching it with adults and parents.
Right.
A lot of them.
I mean, there's plenty of stuff in there for kids. Like, there's dragging that dog around.
Yeah.
Betcha.
Exactly. All right, I think we're going to do one more. We've been running long here, so.
Well, it was 2 episodes.
I know. We had a few comments we're going to have to skip. Sorry, everybody.
Last comment then from Zach Schmidt. Awesome episodes. My only criticism. 1, I think it's amazing that this animated show is able to have realistic lighting that looks so great. That said, because it's realistic, a lot of scenes, especially in this episode, are so dark. It can really be hard to see all the details and action sometimes. But yeah, that's my only criticism. Anyone else have this problem? No, I can agree. There were some dark.
It oftentimes is, but this episode, there were some, especially when I was going back to try to like clip images for it for my video. I'm like, God, I can't even like.
What am I looking at?
Yeah, it's like
here?
Sometimes like, what is this?
Just, what are you?
You would pause it randomly. I'm like, I can't even tell what I'm looking at right now.
Well, I watched one of the episodes at work on my phone, and it was very hard to see at times what was going on.
Yeah, it was a little too dark, and I get...
It was broaching on Kenobi levels of dark.
Well, let's not... But yeah, I agree. A little dark.
A little dark, yeah.
But the animation is still glorious to behold.
It is. It is. I'm surprised that no one in post, though, called them out and was like, hey, maybe can we brighten this up a little?
Yeah.
But they also wanted us to understand jungle warfare. It's going to be dark. It's going to be hard to see.
Certainly.
So I will give them some passes just because it was so good. But yeah, this is legitimate criticism, I think.
I agree. All right, well, I think that's going to be all we got for this time. So now it is your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you thought of these 2 episodes of The Bad Batch. Did you love them? Did you hate them? Are you somewhere in between? Whatever the case may be, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.
Oh, can we just give Omega a gun at this point?
No.
Stop giving her crossbows. They still kill things.
Crossbowy things.
Yeah.
That's her style.
If you got this far, you get to hear me complain about the fact that they're like, no, look, we got you a crossbow. It's not like your bow from last season, but it's a crossbow. Just give the girl a gun.
I don't think they want to for some reason.
Oh, because she's a kid and they don't want to associate kid with gun, but they're also still giving her a deadly weapon,
yes.
So whatever.
Don't try to make
I know, let's
sense.
just give her a slingshot like Ezra had.
Maybe.
We'll just downgrade her to slingshot.
All right, well, that is all we got. Thanks for watching.